Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to City Skylines 2. This is episode number 8. We made a lot of growth, we made a lot of progress last time, but we still only saw ourselves progress a single level. We're reaching that phase where things are really starting to slow down. So, what we're going to be doing first is we have some land that we've already picked up in terms of tiles out here that is available for farm. And so we're going to go ahead and, as farming is a great need and grain is a massive shortage, you can see how we can get this one big pocket quite easily. We're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and get this big pocket, make one big farm there, and we've unlocked the special signature building of a dairy house. That'll be a nice addition. So before we place this guy, let's get the road in there, because we're going to have to place around the road. This is just going to be a gravel road connection straight to the highway. It should just be, nice, just a yield sign. Perfect. Alright, cool. With that, and this would be nice if it were a daytime scenario, but we'll make it work. We're not even gonna, no, we're maximizing this land. We are not gonna squeeze anything else in here. Go ahead and go right to the railroad tracks, as we'll get every last inch of what they're going to give us space-wise here. Alright, that covers the ground pretty well. If we had this last tile, we could get a little bit more on that circle. And of course, if we scooted the highway over a little bit, we could get a little more there too. But for now, that's a big plus. It's these farms that I think were one of those very, very big missing details of what we were doing previously. But here we are sitting on $4 million, definitely the biggest lump of cash that we have had thus far, and we are still managing to be profitable, even if only just. Okay, power is an issue, water is an issue. Why? Because the highway is not our, I upgraded this highway though, it should be carrying, but it's very much not. Okay, this highway is not containing, even though I upgraded it, it's a highway, I suppose, so we have nothing. Okay, that'll take care of power. What about the combined pipes here? Nothing. Oh, shoot, okay, that's only going to get us so far, isn't it? Looks like we might have to peel back the farm just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Had to pull back the edge of the farm just a little bit to bring the electricity into this road instead of the highway. And it did eventually give us a proper connection. So that farm is now up and running. We should get our first employees here fairly soon. And it'll start growing and providing us a bit of a resource. But in the meantime, we've hit a negative balance. We have some big demand for commercial at the moment. We might want to address that soon, but before addressing the zonal needs, let's go ahead and address the 9 progression points that we have available to us here.
That's right.
Alright, I know the university was one of those things that we were very much on the verge of, so let's go ahead and get that university unlocked. That's 2 points. City Hall, Center for Different Branches. The local government, more efficient bureaucracy, lowers loan interest rates as well as the price of imported goods. We do import a lot of goods. That could certainly help us there. Getting into another transportation industry such as air could be good. We are right on the water. Water would definitely be a good one. Tram, subway is going to come a little bit later. I think for now the City Hall makes a lot of sense, though I don't know what the expense is, how it's going to help us necessarily until we kind of get in and try it. Alright, we're having a slight injury when it comes to our death care, because we really only have, I think, the single, we have 2 forms of death care. Let's check in on those 2 forms of death care. There we go. We have a crematorium here. does have availability to upgrade. So what would that be? More space for hearses. Hearses are a real problem for us right now. So let's go ahead and make that upgrade happen. And this can happen right back there without interfering with anything. So we'll add that in. And what's this one? Expansion. Well, do they even, like, how is there 0 bodies? Efficiency's at 97%. They've got the 18 employees. It's the vehicles. The gathering returning is just taking way too long. They'll have more vehicles now, and they seem to process them plenty fast, so that's all there is to that one. We had a second. Is it just the cemetery? The number of deceased present is rather small. What do we have here? Plus well-being. Attractiveness. Memorial tomb. A little sightseeing attraction is going to be good for us. We're getting 0 tourism at the moment. Getting to a position where we are starting to. I like the well-being, but our well-being is actually good. Let's begin with this. This attractiveness piece is something that's really lacking for us. That's kind of cool how it drew the cemetery up the hill a little bit and then puts that on the top of the hill. Makes it look even nicer because it comes with a view. So back on the education front. Elementary school, we're keeping up with capacity. We're doing fine there. We've got them spread out. We have access in all the places we need to have access. And then we have or do we have access everywhere we need to have access? I don't think I have an elementary for this neighborhood at all. Because there's the high school and the college. And then you got an elementary here, which is fine. You got an elementary there, which is barely covering that area. And then we have an elementary over here. And I do have a new elementary for that neighborhood. But look how poor our coverage is for the interior of these double neighborhoods. It's really quite poor. So would one here take care of all of that? Looks like it would. And it would actually help cover that other side a little bit more too. So one more elementary. Poof. Okay, capacity is also quite high now. All the neighborhoods are covered. That's all industrial commercial, so we don't have to worry about, well, actually, there's a tiny bit of housing in there, but I won't worry about it. The high school is doing just fine. We already expanded the capacity for it. I can't put in the sports field without demolishing some of the neighborhood, but it's got what it needs otherwise. The college is doing fine. The eligibility, the capacity, it's within reason. It's got plenty of room for expansion. But we now have 1,000 eligible people for a university, and we have none. We just unlocked it. 1.5 million is a lot. Upkeep of 200,000 is a lot, but we've already discovered that a huge amount of our funding is coming through tuition, through these universities, or through the education system. So the college is in that one area. I think we want to put the university somewhere out here and maybe make it its own thing. Back here at the edge, or would it fit down near the water? Not quite, but it would most certainly fit back here. We've got that road right there. That kind of links through the neighborhood, and then you've got the key road coming out. I think we put its own little private road back here and then put it on that road. So let's start with the road piece and create what we need for this. Did I get that the right way? I did. Okay, cool. And then we're going to put it right here. Yeah, I don't need anything else on the back side of this. It'd be nice to know where our parking is kind of set up to exist within this framework. Alright, we have now a capacity for 2,000, and instantly we went from 1,000 eligible people for university to 300. Right, you have deceived me. Extend this road a little bit further. Oh no. Let's undo. We need parking right on up to that. There you go. So we went to the far end for the parking, but that gives you plenty of room to exit. Plenty of room to get away from the university when the time comes. Alright, looking at our options for the university, I don't want to put anything in just yet. I don't want upkeep of 100k at the university library. Or 75k for an extension wing when we have 17 students. Attractiveness is nice, the university park, but again, 40,000 for upkeep, but that's a plus 20 to outdoor recreation. And 10 for attractiveness. I think if we're gonna spend something, that seems like a good way to start that spending process. I think maybe we put the park out here on this edge, and I do want to close that road off. This is definitely a single road. We have a dropout rate of 1%, even though we just opened. Apparently they were sad there was no park. We have more employees than students at the moment, but the efficiency is there. It will be fine. Look at that, just like that, we've upgraded a building right next door. Road maintenance vehicle making the rounds. Okay, now those demands are coming way up at the moment. This little pocket is another kind of farm area, but it's a weak farm area. I might be able to squeeze in another farm or subtract a little bit of this to help with creating a farm, something I will look into. Suddenly the funding is back down into the neighborhood of where we were before. 2.6 million. But look at that profit jumping to an 11,000 per hour. We are starting to make some more money. So what is kind of spurring that one? We've got taxes. Taxes are making up a huge chunk of it. Residential 860,000, commercials 837,000, 420 for industrial, 24 for office. Service fees are nice and high. Parking fees making up 7,000. Electricity 169k. Water, garbage, and healthcare are all limited. But education fees, 332,000.
The city will be
That's a huge chunk of our income.
We urge the public to remain
Public transportation also 144k, so we're doing well in those two departments. The exported electricity is still amounting to 460,000. Looking a little closer at our industries, so roads minus 53,000. Electricity is profitable, barely. Water and sewage is a big negative right now. Healthcare is a massive negative. We'd love to start turning a profit. We're not making any money and people are not healthy. The clinics aren't turning any profit, so we're going to need something different if we're going to turn healthcare and death care into something that's not such a huge drain. Garbage management, education, research, the fees are helping, but the maintenance is a lot more expensive. So yeah, it's nice, but actually, no, wait, hold on. It's costing us money. Fire and rescue, there's no fees regarding that, and I have not built neighborhoods. Even the transportation is not turning a profit for us. So taxes are a help, but getting away from these kind of burdens is the tricky one. I mean, the electricity is barely paying for itself. Or we're gonna have to do more to try to make a buck. Even though we are slightly profitable, the taxes are doing the trick, but I just feel like there's more that can be done to turn things in our favor. Love how we've got dawn on a new day setting, and in the middle of winter here, we have a little fire in this house, but it's so far away from the fire station. It's definitely not in a good place. The high Hearst demands has definitely cut back. They're catching up on the number of deceased out there. Did I ever put in the welfare office? I don't think I have. That's all red. That's all red. No, there is no welfare office anywhere to speak of. So, how much ground does a welfare office cover? Just about get that whole neighborhood. North, south, kind of need one to the north, one to the south, and then you could just about have yourself covered. Won't fit in this pocket that we have left. So we will need to make some space for it, but I bet you if we put it here just off the industrial, yes, that does cover this whole southern neighborhood. So we're going to stick a welfare office in there. And now we need to figure out something for the northern reaches. And we have space behind the university. And this will cover a lot of the northern area. Doesn't give us 100% coverage, but it's a pretty solid coverage. So City Hall, minus 1% loan interest. We haven't gotten into loans. We're staying away from loans. But the minus 2% import costs citywide is well worth the 1.6 million in terms of what that's going to do for us financially long term. And this can be placed anywhere, so we've got to decide where we want to have our city hall. Oh, I could just squeeze it in between the welfare office and the college. Okay, we have the space, we might as well use the space. And you know, you have that accompanying space around them for the expansions. And suddenly our profit range has gone up significantly. The import cost going down by 2% is turning some money for us. Oh, nothing too bad. In terms of the happiness breakdown, a lot of it's behind the face cam here, but we have +7 for reliable mail service, +6 for wealth, +6 for spacious homes, +4 for reliable internet service, +3 for abundance of entertainment. -1 on high taxes because we bumped it up by a single percent, but that's such a small negative. Abundance of leisure time is +1. Good education services is +1. High noise pollution is -1. And unreliable healthcare coverage is -1. We now have 21,000, so we did finally cross that 20,000 milestone and turning a decent profit. And we've been including the industries that we have unlocked of late. Oh, we still only have the medical clinic. Oh, we don't have the money for the hospital. It's the upkeep cost. That's crazy. But I think that's going to really help with our situation on average health, I would think. But the crematorium is not quite keeping up. We only have a single crematorium. Doesn't quite keep up with the number of dead that we have. Alright, this little eastern pocket just off our industrial area that had this winding gravel road, we're going to go ahead and upgrade it. And then I'm going to start filling this pocket in. It looks like we're going to have to go the other way for this section of road, though. Okay, that's as far as we can go with that upgrade for now. I don't like we had to divert the road a little bit to avoid the cargo, whatever that is, down there. Not much forestry here and no other resources in the area. One wider road to connect up to whatever we eventually put in. And so this is now just kind of some standard roads that we want to add up at this point. We'll have a connection over here, we'll have a connection over here, and then fill in this little pocket. Don't want to lose the houses that were there. That little farm existed already. So I think we can kind of just run diagonally for this area. Alright, so a simple additional pocket for now. Let's use it because, I mean, look at that demand. It is so high right now. Start with some mixed housing to take care of that medium and to help with the demands regarding the medium density. And then just some regular commercial. We're probably going to need to build into this area here at some point, but we'll hold off on that for now. Ooh, office. Okay, so we have some demand for office. Okay, and the rest of this pocket's going to be the typical low stuff. Might need to think about services to this area. There might be a need for police or fire, something along those lines in this area. So it's also going to be an area apt for probably some pollution, as the industrial is upwind of that. So it might be a lower income type neighborhood. Yeah, there you go. There's some air pollution affecting the occupants, but it's only just kicking off kind of right here for the most part so far. I think that's going to be an immediate, let's throw in a medical clinic nearby, because how better to deal with your health needs from air pollution by treating it, right? I'm going to go ahead and drop in another of our signature buildings. We have the Ember Suites, which is a mixed housing situation, plus 8 well-being and a +1 attractiveness citywide. So we're going to squeeze this in to this area here. Wherever it fits best without overlapping. Good. Put it right there. Making it work. Build 5 signature buildings in a city. Okay, we do have a commercial one, the Streamline Diner. This might go with this new area. Okay, I need to build a new industrial area, by the way. And I have an idea on where I want to go, what I want to do with that. That's going to be some low rent stuff. What? We don't have any fancy stuff here. Let's go ahead and get our film actor mansion or the painter mansion. Even just a couple leftover options for now. With already a couple ins and outs connected to the highway on this roundabout, I don't want to overload that roundabout with too much traffic, so I'm going to put one more roundabout in further up and make a single connection out this direction eventually, and a single connection that is going to pick up this whole pocket next to the farm and the railroad tracks. And this is going to be our next industrial area over here. So building the road network out, I don't want to lose all of the trees back here. It's not enough for forestry, but it is enough. Alright, road network wise, it's not pretty. I might make a couple little adjustments on how I've set this one up, but it's not a big pocket. There's not a lot going on here, so it's going to be pretty easy, pretty straightforward to run that traffic through here. I might just link this up so one quicker, easier out. I think that should just about work. But that's going to be all industrial. It won't fill up for a while, but let's go ahead and start using the space. Oh, I got the power hooked up, but the water and sewage is not. That's easy enough to add in. That should take care of that, and does. Okay, so that's all linked up now. And with our ever-growing population, industrial demand has not disappeared. That whole pocket did not make the whole. Wow, that's surprising. Commercial demand is still quite high, so let's go ahead and deal with that one. Fit in some high density commercial in this area. It's going to really help see that drop down. At plus 3,000 an hour and occasionally fluctuating like now to nearly 10,000 an hour, we're seeing our money recover pretty quickly, and it's good to see us turning a profit. It's really good to see that. It's really helping with the projects, because we were slightly over $1 million and we're already back to about 1.7 in a very short period of time. So now it's not just relying on leveling up, hitting a milestone, which we're making some good progress this time around. I mean, we started on level 9 already. We're still on the 9th milestone, but we've done a lot here. We really have done a lot here. The short-term projects, adding in the university and whatnot. Speaking of, how are we doing with that now? Things have changed a little. University only at 111, so it's not major. The college is not doing fantastic, but it says only 1,023 with capacity at 1,500. It's okay. It's meeting the needs. Maybe there's a distance factor starting to show up a little bit, but I think we're ultimately okay. But elementary and high school needs are definitely met. They're okay. The college needs certainly aren't bad. It's just the eligibility versus those attending. It's got to be a bit of a choice. Same with the university for that matter. I mean, the eligibility numbers are growing. But in terms of the education distribution, so the uneducated are 21%, poorly educated are 40%, educated is 30%, well educated is 5%, and highly educated is just 2% right now. When it comes to our garbage management, I'm still a little confused as to why our recycling center just does not seem to be doing what it could or should. I have not put the upgrades into it, and I really think it's time that we do. Vehicles in use is just 3 out of 10. We do have stored garbage, it's just not processing very well, so maybe we can do something that's going to help with processing. Hazardous waste collection point is definitely going to do that. It's not a huge expense. It is a fairly big upgrade, though, which is surprising. Oh, it's over here. This guy. What is overlapping about this? Oh, the forestry. But I can't put it across the street? No. Alright, well there's almost nothing happening forestry right here, so we'll pull back this little section. That should improve the processing speed a little bit more at the rate it's going, and how little it actually helps. I feel like we might need another recycling center. They're only even using 2 trucks. They fill it up pretty fast. But it's about the processing, right? It's not like it's empty, so adding more trucks isn't going to help. It's how fast does it process? And that's as fast as she goes. So yeah, we're only processing 13,000. What else can we do, though? We have a landfill. That is our recycling center, which processes now 12 tons a month. What about the incineration plant? It's expensive to get into. It's $1 million. It does have some upkeep to it, but it's going to produce electricity for us. That's extra money. It's also going to process 44 tons a month, significantly more than what we're processing now. And that landfill availability is dropping down pretty fast. It's already down to 56%. So this is a big need. So we need to make an incineration plant. What do we have left space-wise to do something like this? Oh gosh, it's huge. I wonder if this can go, yeah, back here. Okay, the other side of the tracks. Okay, there. I can see where the road connection is necessary. Oh, okay. This is power. So we've got to hook that up into the network somehow.
on
These
the
are not the
city's
small
website
power
on
lines,
how
these
to
are
plan
big
for
power
these
lines.
temporary events.
Which means we're going to need a
Then
transformer
they
station
will
here
public
nearby.
service announcement.
Alright, we're already starting to get some employees in there. The trucks have not brought in any garbage just yet, but dump truck number 1 is headed out. Extra electricity means extra income coming in, and it's going to produce a lot more. Alright, the air pollution pocket is clear. Where the issue is this area, not having much of an issue with it. But mysterious deaths do seem to be a factor over there. Bit by bit, we are definitely filling in our pocket or pockets of space. We still have 13 tiles now to expand, so there's plenty of area that we could get into that we're not currently into. We still have a pocket down here available. We still have this pocket available. We still have this island that we have not gotten into other than our chemical plant and one farm in that area. There's still little bits here, but it's not much, and we've been putting City Hall, Welfare, College, into this pocket left over. Might squeeze another farm into this area back here, even though that seemed like prime real estate, but who cares at this point. We do have this small island that we could do something with. We have our 2 very small islands here, and we could do something private or just leave them as is untouched. Where we were approaching 20,000 before, now we are approaching 25,000, but we've definitely dipped into the funds. We are now under 1 million, but as things go on, we should see that profit increase even more. So that funds recovery, I mean, really, we've spent all that we had, but we've recovered enough funds through profit to have what we have now at about 862,000, and we're 3/4 of the way to the next milestone. But every time we take care of demand, within a few minutes, zonal demand just goes through the roof yet again. So as fast as we can build it, the demand is just there to grow and grow and grow and do more and more and more along the way. But we're into our first winter here. We have yet to see any snow. This particular biome doesn't tend to get cold enough for it, but I think we should get at least a little snowstorm here at some stage. I'd love to see it anyway. Lots of land available to the north. Lots of land available to the east. Plenty of land available to the west, especially that big island over there. How we use things is going to still have question marks, but the next milestone, we're starting to get into the big projects, the big unlocks, the expensive unlocks that are going to have a greater impact on kind of the big scheme of things. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.